I've been lost far too long. I can't see, I'm trapped in darkness. Life has turned its back on me, it would seem. Brother, help me up, I've fallen down. Brother, help me up, I've fallen down.
When Chris retired from the Air Force, he moved to Florida, got a house, he was seeing a girl, and he had what looked to be a perfect life on the outset. But he still had a lot of demons and a lot of internal struggle that all of that external stuff couldn't fix. So it started out well, but then it started to erode. You know, that situation kind of deteriorated over time, and he found a lot of solace in the bottle. THC, prescription medications, and I think he tried to find whatever solution he could come up with to quiet those demons. To no avail.
I remember we got the call. I was living in Dallas, and I just remember just crying. I just couldn't, I couldn't figure out why he did that. And I wish that he would have called me, you know.
There was the trauma of what he had seen downrange, what he had been a part of. Survivor's guilt, losing friends, and there was talk of traumatic brain injury because he had been involved in some blasts. He had been shot and survived being shot in the chest. So you combine all of that, and it was a pretty tough hill to climb. Not impossible, but he just wasn't able to do it. You know, his demons followed him everywhere, and he was unable to make peace with what was tearing him up inside.
After he separated the military, that was so hard for me too, especially to see the suffering that he was through, because when he separated, he started having, you know, some of his friends or teammates, they commit suicide. So it was so hard on him, and he wanted to do something for them to save them, but he didn't know what. So then he started, of course, you know, the drinking problem, and then he went a few times. I find him in his room in a fetal position, like holding a gun that want to kill himself. So then I talked to him, and I said, you know what, this is not hard just for you, but it's for me, because I'm here supporting you. And then I said, if God let you live all this time and you survive your deployments, so then you need to do something about it.
I came on this retreat because on the past one, I made a lot of changes and developed as a father and a husband, and learned a lot about myself. But there was still a lot that I felt like I needed to take care of. I didn't get to check all those boxes, so I'm going again.
Yeah, the last time I was looking for more closure from my mom's passing, and this time, I do feel like I got that, but now it's more of like the acceptance part of like, that's just what it is now. And I think trying to be a better wife and mom and not carry that grief and like anger over from that to my personal life, you know?
You go through it and you make a lot of self-revelations, and you look at yourself in the mirror and you finally do that and you realize what you have. So when I got home, I was like ecstatic to be home and, you know, kind of utilize what I learned through the therapy sessions, through the circles, through just talking to people in the group. And yeah, it was just, I felt light when I got home, so it was very easy. Obviously I stopped drinking heavily prior to that, after that ceremony.
Yeah.
I think that had a lot to do with anger and, you know, patience, and so it was a good transition when I got home. So I realized how easy life could be.
His like calmness and like peace, maybe like really like right when he got back, you know, such a difference from when he left to then when he got back. And like, you know, we have 4 kids, so like the kids are constantly needing, screaming, wanting, whatever. And he was just like very like calm and collected, and I was like, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah, no, it changes you a lot for sure. Yeah, I would say my big takeaway for this retreat was letting go of noise and giving that energy to my kids and wife. And I think having a better home life, I can create a better work environment, and everything from there is just going to be a domino effect of more positivity instead of worrying about things that are out of my control. From here on, it's going to be a lot of, you know, self-reflection, self-work. I'm going to have to take the steps to continue to enlarge what I gained here and keep it in the forefront, and just remember and, you know, reiterate to myself that, like, you know, I did this for a reason. I got to keep taking steps to make my home life better, to make my kids' life better, to make my wife's life better. And I think that'll translate over to all my other stuff too. But I think it's a long road, but this was such a good starting point that I think it's going to develop a lot faster than it ever would have. So.
I think it looks like more self-awareness and trying to, I don't know, figure things out the best way that I can. Continuing like our therapy together, you know, because it doesn't just end here. Like, that's not one weekend is gonna fix everything, you know. You have to keep working at it.
The way I'd explain the retreats is, you know, if you know you have something going on and you need to fix it and you want to take the correct steps, I mean, obviously do your research, but this is a place where you have brothers, you have people taking care of you, you feel safe, you know what you're getting into, you make really good connections, and you get to handle business that you otherwise wouldn't have.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it was just like an awesome thing to do, like mentally. And like I said before, it's not just about like the ayahuasca and that experience. It's like the fellowship and like being together and being able to kind of be in like a group therapy setting and share your feelings openly with people is, yeah, it's awesome.